going to take a look at the RTU 3030C, and we're going to go through programming up the various steps. The first thing you need to be aware of is, out of the box, the default IP address is 192.168.0.3, and the default password and username is admin. The first time you log in, you will be asked to change that password. So this RTU 3030 is connected in my office. So the first thing that I'm going to start doing is let's change the name from the default name, and it's up to you what you use. In here you could put your longitude and latitude, so just give it a little bit more information, and then when you want it to shut down after a period of no activity, so we'll apply that, wait for it to update. So now we've changed its name, and then the first thing to do is to get the LAN programmed up. So if we go to the configuration, we're going to activate the LAN, and I want to change the IP address because my internal IP address is on the .1 domain. I'm going to specify a router as well, but the DNS I tend to just use the Google defaults, and then my router is a 1.1. So I've changed my address. Now when I probably do this, I'm probably going to lose my connection. I can see here it's changed my IP address and I'm struggling to get back online. So the first thing I need to do is rechange my settings on my PC Ethernet port, so it's on the .1 domain. So I've logged back in and I can now see that my LAN is activated, and I have no errors at the moment. I haven't activated my WAN or anything like that. So the next stage is to set up some user groups and some email messages ready to set up my email service, because that's what I'm going to do first. So I've added a new user, and I already have my existing one, so I've called this one demo, but I could add up to multiple users in here, and now I have to set up a group. So what I'm going to do is add two groups, one for email and one for SMS. So I'm going to call this demo_email. Sorry about the capitals. Set that for email and set that to that user where I've got an email and an SMS. And then I'm going to add another group, and I'm going to call this demo SMS. So there we have our two user groups. If we now click on tags at the end here, we have texts, and we can add different messages. So this will be and down here you can see some commands that you can put in to get certain things that you've got programmed up for other tags. So if I put date, that's going to get the current date and time from the RTU. So there we go. I've created a test email, and I'm ready to set up my email account now. So The next stage is to set up your email account. You can see here you have the option for FTP. I have a one.com email account, and if you type in email settings into your search engine for the particular email provider you're with, it will come up with this information for the STP server. So you'll have an address, a port number, what connection security it supports, and then you'll have an email address, a username and a password. Put those in. We're not using the CA certificate on this, so click on delete for now. And if you want, you can encrypt your attachments even further and add a password onto that. So you get that added little bit of protection that your attachment needs a password at the other end. Once you've done that, you click on apply and then send a test message. And what you'll see then, if I open my email server, I can see that I've been receiving emails, test emails. This is a test, and there's the date. Okay, so I put a very simple message in, but you can put anything you want in there. So there's my email server set up. So the next thing I need to do is to start mapping my HART variables. So have a look at the expansion card. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at HART. So I'll activate the card to start off with. I want HART. You could do both. So you've got a strange combination. You've got some Modbus instruments and some HART instruments on site. That's fine. You can do that. The limitation is 15 variables that you can bring back from this comms card. I don't want 2 seconds lead time, so I'll do that. And then what you've got here, you can, on the card itself, there's a power supply that you'll need to power the device. And what you can do is you can get it to wake up, power it up and take a measurement. Because ours is mains powered, I'm just going to leave it on all the time, so we'll apply that. And then if we go to the next stage, okay, this bit of information here is the port number that we'll need later on when we set up the communications. So we're going to activate the HART IP, leave everything else at default, and if you start polling, as long as you've got enough resistance in your loop, so greater than 250 ohms, it should find your address now. We've only got one device connected, address 0. Again, you can wire these in multi-drop. So what happens in multi-drop is you've got all of your milliamps signals shorted together, so you no longer have a milliamp signal, but the HART information will pass through, on this particular setup, 9 HART devices. So I can have 9 HART devices off one of these cards. So there we go. I have a device connected at HART address 0. I need to give that a name now, so I'm going to activate it and call that it's HART address 0. And now we go to the tags, and each one of these, so you can see my device there. If I had more devices, I'd have to have a different lookup table. So I'm going to activate my first HART value. I'm going to call this level, and my units are in percent. I'm going to click on this read here, and this will read all of my HART values that I can see there. So if I apply that, I have my first process value set up, and it's reading the level back in percent. I'm going to say I want to log that. I can always log it or put it in the basic cycle, which we'll come on to in a minute. So what I'll do next is I'll set up the rest of these 4 process values. So there I have my my
4 process values. I mean, I could read that more if there was more available, but at the moment I just have 4 in there. But I have echo confidence and temperature, and I have the level in percent and in millimeters. So I've got some useful diagnostics there. I need to set the logger up now. So operating mode, depending on how much data you want, depends on how often you want this to make a measurement. So depending on the situation, you have to be careful what you put in here. For a battery powered application, you put in here 10 minutes, it'd wake up every 10 minutes. But just so I don't use up much data on my logger, I'm going to say just take a measurement every 15 minutes. I'm going to have the communication mode so it's always connected. Again, if it was a battery powered one, you'd have that, so it would be on the cycle time, so every time it woke up it would wake the communications up. So if I click on here, you can see now I'm always connected to my LAN. And then my login, I'm going to activate it, and it's a daily log, and it will delete older log files, comma separated, and then it's up to you what you put in for your prefix. Here I've got test email. You could change that so you have a different email for your logged files. So that's it. Things like your power supply, I can see here it's connected. I can log that. I'll show you how to log it in a minute. And here I've got no batteries connected, so there's no login for the batteries, but I could get here so it logs the battery capacity all the time if I had one. So this unit is now set up to send out a log file once a day, log in every 15 minutes. The last stage is to set up my VPN connection to my SINEMA RC server. So that's located under security. I have my VPN. It's going to be an open VPN, and in this instance it's a bit of a strange one. It's a LAN connection, but it could quite easily be a WAN. And that's the internal address of my server. And then I just have to make sure that my encryption is set correctly to match my server. And then if I click on apply just to save that, what I need to do is get these security certificates. Now if I go to my SINEMA Remote Connect, so this is my device that I want to connect. You can see here it's offline. So this is a device I want to connect, and you can see these different actions at the end, and if I put my mouse over these, you'll see there exports the certificate as a PEM file. So that's in my download file. What I need to do now is if I go back to my RTU 3030, I'm going to search for that. So this could be on a memory stick, for instance. There it is. And I'm going to apply that. And when I apply that, you'll see that these other certificates, this PEM file brings in all the certificates and keys for this secure connection. And the password that you have to put in is the password that you use on the SINEMA RC. And I'm going to load that from the device. So I've loaded that, and now I'm going to apply. And you can see now I've got all my certificates loaded. If I need to see what's happening, I'm just waiting now for the connection to my VPN. So there you can see I've connected to my server. If I go back to my server and just refresh, I can see that that device is now online, and it has a virtual IP address. We're back to our overview screen. We can see here the VPN's connected. I have a SIM card installed and my LAN is connected, and my HART is set up and it's polling away. I didn't set up the Modbus 485. There's separate connections, as you can see. The HART connections are here, and there is the 485, and this is my control power. So you have separate power connections, but this is if I want to power my loop powered instrument that has HART on, if it's a passive instrument stroke transmitter. And if we have a look at the status overview, we've configured the RTU 3030 with a new name. We've put it into run. So we've set it with a fixed internal IP address. The login is active. We can see the memory card there, how much memory we've used on it. Got the expansion card installed, and we've configured the HART. The mobile network is not set up at the moment, but we'll come back to that at a later date. And the VPN connection is established to my SINEMA RC server, and I have a virtual IP address here. And this option at the bottom is for the additional control options that you can have, and this is firmware specific. So in this instance it's telecontrol, but I could blow firmware in there that could do SYNORT or DMP3 or the IEC standard. So the only other thing that you may want to do is when you're finished is to save that file. So you can save it to a PC or you can save it to an SD card. It's entirely up to you. So the SD card will be the one that's plugged into the device to log it. You do have to be careful there, because sometimes when you do a factory reset it will wipe the card. So the best place to put it really is on your PC. Keep it safe. And again, you can encrypt that again if you want and give it a password, so to make it even more secure. So there we have it, an overview of the SIMATIC RTU 3030C in this case. The configuration would be the same for the 3031 and the 3041C. So thanks for listening. I hope you found it useful, and please tune in to have a look at configuring the WAN and the FTP on this device at a later date. Cheers.